Her son was murdered 3 weeks ago. I did not know this when I told her to go away. However, I was right in telling her to go away. I was also right in unfriending her. See, here's the thing. When somebody's gone through an extreme amount of hell like that, losing your son is hell. Losing your daughter is hell. Losing your best friend is hell. It's all hell. Ain't nothing I can say to her gonna fix that. The other lady I'm trying to help out, like many victims who have post-traumatic stress disorder, and she certainly does, it's difficult for them to listen to other victims and put themselves in other victims' shoes because they're revisiting their own trauma, even hearing it. With many of the people that I helped, I had to relive my own trauma to do what they wanted, to do what they needed. And people know their situation better than you do, which is why you need to shut up. Don't give advice. Last night, nearly everything that I tell people not to do to victims, and why, this lady last night had to deal with quite a bit of that out of me. Because in this situation, I am the victim who needs help. But absolutely she is as well. Being a victim of human trafficking and working together with the other victims of human trafficking, that is important. Now there's a class action, matter of fact, a few of them to be had here. But it's not just the class actions, it's the fact that repeatedly law enforcement has been allowed to misrepresent the situation intentionally withhold evidence, intentionally destroy evidence. They always leave out the part where I'm trying to turn in officers, and that everything that they have done has been to prevent me from turning in officers. And their friends like Polly Olson and Robert Franklin Warnick. Robert Franklin Warnick is a registered pedophile. If you look up the name Robert, Robert Warnick, you will see information about Robert Franklin Warnick of Chapel, Nebraska, a registered pedophile who not only threatened to kill me on more than one occasion, threatened assaults against me on more than one occasion, but actually physically assaulted me on more than one occasion. The police in Chapel, Nebraska, there are none. There are literally no police in Chapel, Nebraska. There is the Dual County Sheriff's Department, and that is all. I exhausted every resource needed to try to turn in the Dual County Sheriff, Scott DaCosta, and his deputies, and I was repeatedly harmed and retaliated against for doing so. These guys getting to gang up on an at-risk adult is inhumane on so many levels. There's also the general consensus of Nebraskans. There's nothing they can do about it. Nothing they can do about it. Nothing they can do about it. And then they want to talk about their Second Amendment, won't exercise their First. Why? Because they are afraid of what other people think. While telling you, you shouldn't care what other people think. Why is that? Because it's not just what they think. It's the things that they will do to you over what they think. I've got no less than 3 people verifying on my YouTube channel in their own voices about my little brother being a pedophile. That would be Michael Allen Albert. Also, due to the fact that Sherman Watson got busted being a douchebag and wants to help some of his friends that committed crimes against me, he thought that him and Amy were going to retaliate against me for telling the truth by accusing my older brother of being some sort of sicko. Not a chance in hell. I don't have to be with my older brother Eric 24 hours a day to know that he's not going to be touching children under any circumstances. Matter of fact, God save the man that Eric Christopher Schwartz catches touching a child in such a way. If he'd have seen what Emery and Arturo were doing the morning that I told Natalie and Alicia Bollinger that they needed to go home and not come back. Those two never would have come back. Those people would probably barely be able to recover from the abuse they endured. It hurt them bad.
Since you gave me the $5, I got you a fucking grand.
Oh, well, I'm good. There is no way in hell I'm going to be able to smoke what I got before it gets moldy.
Well, this is better. This is fresh. This is sticky banana. Smoke this one first.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
God bless you.
I got a...
Give it away then. The other shit. We have more. Give it away.
Yes, sir.
I have more. I have like 8.
Yes,
Fuck.
sir.
Give it away. Please.
I got to try to get a hold of some people. Again, waiting on calls. I had to literally spend all my disability money almost to rent a room, so I got less than $100 to try to survive the month on.
Okay, I'm gonna go spend some money at the casino and win a bunch. Don't worry.
Yes, sir, Mr. Mike.
Yeah, I gotta go.
All right, be safe. Thank
Can
you.
you wipe that? Okay. Just the electronics. That's all I care about.
All right.
Thank you, Sean. You're the best.
Yes, sir. Thank you, Mike. You too.
Libra power.
Woo! All right, so I got rules about being willing to smoke pot. Obviously, I can't go anywhere without people giving me there's a dispensary here, THC. Let me find the thing on it. When I first got here, there's some folks who were telling me about people dying because folks was putting fentanyl on their pot. And I had a couple of different homeless people give me pot that I could visibly see that there was other drugs in it. So I will not smoke pot that I got from somebody else. I will only go to THC for my THC. I have a lighter with their full name. Oh, here it is. Today's Herbal Choice. www.todaysherbalchoice.com. They're in Berber Boulevard, Milwaukee, Mola Rainier, Reedsport, Staten, and Tillamook. I don't need pot. I need help turning in my story. There's a lady who was going to try to help me, but I got a notification this morning from her that is familiar to me as a, what do you call it? When somebody's account gets hacked and then they want you to accept a verification thing on your phone. And then you do the verification thing on your phone. Well, what that does is it allows them to hack your account. And then they do that using your account to someone else. I've got about 20 friends or so that are not friends with me because as soon as I called them out and said, hey, you hacked my friend's account, well, the first thing that they did was block me. Facebook does nothing for the safety of its users. Matter of fact, you can see very plainly and very simply that in the situation with myself and Natalie Bollinger that Facebook went out of their way to assist my predators in getting away with the crimes they committed. So did law enforcement. Law enforcement wanted to defer it to Facebook, and Facebook is algorithms. They wanted to defer the law. No, you don't get to do that. There is no statute of limitations on what's been done to me. And that's where so many people have screwed up incredibly in their assumptions. The statute of limitations for a lot of this stuff is on the evidence itself, the evidence that police officers have. When I was out and free, I recorded everything. When they locked me up, I wasn't allowed to record anything, and I was illegally prevented from contacting the people that I needed to contact to get help. The only person that they would allow on my contact list for the first 40 days that I was locked up almost, they wouldn't even let me talk to my lawyer. Sorry, public pretender. They would only allow me to call Dallas Richmond, who is extremely drunk and depressed and always feeling sorry for himself. You like how I say that? It doesn't feel very good, does it? Of course it doesn't. Now, why do I have to do it to you back for you to understand how hurtful it is? Why is literally the only thing that you understand hypocrisy? You're a douchebag. When I'm a douchebag to you in exactly the same way, you don't fucking like it. Magically, that just let it roll off your back bullshit becomes complete and total bullshit. The lady on the front cover of this, her name is Stephanie Denise. And her son was killed 3 weeks ago. Now you look at how helpful she was to me since getting involved in the Natalie Bollinger situation, wanting to stick her nose in it, wanting to pretend like she was going to be my friend, and then literally just blowing smoke up my ass. Fuck you. That's not help. We need to stop teaching women that blowing smoke up people's ass can be construed as help, because it absolutely is not help. Women are not that different from men. The fact is, we teach men and women both to be equally sexist. We have taught them this. It is not natural. It is not inherent. It is inherent with the current teachings. If we have victims that aren't being heard because of their gender, i.e. men are not heard because of their gender. Women are far more likely to be stalkers than men. Facebook, YouTube, and TikTok have shown this. They have also shown that not only is that old adage that none of these women are ever going to lie about being abused. No, we get to see very plainly and clearly every single day women posting up, bragging about doing exactly that. About making false accusations because they didn't get what they wanted. Making false accusations because they couldn't take no for an answer.
making false accusations because a man asked them to go away and leave them alone. Women repeatedly bragging about the fact that they are false allegations. Many women getting on and bragging about ruining a man's life with this slander. Like, nobody's going to listen to you, dude. Many men are now starting to wisen up and fucking record everything. You have to as a male. Your guilt is assumed because penis. You have to record it. There's a lot of people who wanted to do things on my behalf, knowing nothing of what was going on, not record it, expect me to just believe them. No, I need you to produce fucking evidence. Your words should have been in court. Why weren't they? I don't have any current need for marijuana. He was trying to be nice and say thank you for giving him $5 yesterday. $6, whatever. I don't want his pot. I'm not going to smoke his pot. Yes, I took it. I accepted his gift. No, I still don't want it, and I'm still not going to smoke it. I told him it's going to get moldy before I ever smoke it. No, I don't want your pot. I want your health. He's very excited and very religious, but his energy is very over the top. I mean, it's a situation where, like for me right now, I'm waiting on that lady that's helping me. Her son is autistic. He's also a victim of human trafficking himself. Under color of law. That's the situation that keeps happening when these people try to pull the wool over my eyes, knowing that I am well aware of my rights. They know I'm well aware of my rights. They also know that all they have to do is call me mentally ill, and it doesn't matter unless someone cares and says, hey, you need to stop this. You need to cease and desist. This is not okay. But instead of somebody helping me to do that, they just want to tell me how it's wrong and it's illegal and these people can't do this to me. They are doing it to me because you're not helping me turn it in. You're preaching to the gallery. You're a choir boy preaching to the choir. Not working. The lady whose picture is on the front of this, Stephanie Denise, she's not a friend of mine. There's not anything I can do to bring her son back. If she wants to tell her story, I will allow her to tell her story on my Facebook or on my YouTube. She wanted me to block her. It wouldn't let me. All it would let me do is unfriend her. But also, those of you who want to keep on pushing that karma's getting them, karma's getting them. Like this lady. If she didn't stop to consider how harmful what she was saying and doing really was. Good intentions, whatever. My best friend was dead, and I've been abused pretty well non-stop for 6 years. My financial situation, the situations that I am repeatedly forced into because none of these government agencies will make any attempt to even do their job for an at-risk adult who is a male who is homeless. You put those three together, I am to blame for everything in your life. I'm a male, so as a male, I get to see every day women blaming me when they blame men, all men, all men. That includes myself. That also includes your son. All men, right? No, that's not okay. That's sexist. How do you not recognize that as sexist? How do you not recognize that we are being bullied, harassed, and fucking murdered over something that you will never have to experience? Women do not have to experience the full hell of being treated like a pedophile. When they openly brag to a man, you broke my heart, so I'm going to run around and tell everybody you're a pedophile. And he's smart enough to record it. How many of those are up? A lot. A lot. Then, of course, you got that lady who wanted to post up that a man helping her was mansplaining. No, he was telling her how not to hurt herself, loading up the weights. And multiple fitness magazines and fitness gurus reached out to her to explain to her, you were going to hurt yourself. You were going to hurt yourself. After she was trying to pretend like this man was some creepo pervert trying to touch her naughties. No, he didn't fucking touch her naughties. Didn't touch her at all. Now, because of that situation, there are a lot of women who are going to the gym and trying to do that. Oh, if I go to the gym, I can record men being perverts. You know what? People go to the gym for a lot of different reasons. Perving on you, majority of the time, is not one of them. Now, how many times have you and your lady friends drooled over a man when you go to the gym? How many times have women been busted staring at men? And we are what? We're expected to be flattered. Expected to be. Kind of like when a woman sticks her hand down your front of your pants while you're passed out, we're supposed to be flattered because a woman wanted to molest us in our sleep. This double standard thing is nuts. I get to hear about the Me Too movement. You mean only for women, right? Only for women. No. There are 29 million male survivors of sexual assault before they turned 18 in this country. 29 million male survivors. That is not an insignificant number. There's a little over 60 million black people in this country. 29 million men. That would be the entire population of black males. Equal numbers. There's about 30 million black males in America. There's about 30 million male survivors of sexual abuse from before they turned 18. There's about 60 million homeless, or 60 million disabled people. Now, men and women tend to have different disabilities. Women tend to more often get disability for depression and things of that nature. Men tend to have to be physically altered in order to be considered disabled, i.e. getting both of your legs chopped off by a construction grader or the like. Having your arm chopped off by a derrick out on a rig. Oil drilling. There's a lot of stuff that is very sexist minded and very pointedly towards women. Our services primarily service women. Many of the men that I've spoken with out here on the streets were very specifically made homeless by female predators in their lives. We've gotten to see more recently how prevalent it is for women to seek positions of power, such as these women who keep having sex with your 14-year-old boys as teachers or as daycare workers. Many of them even getting pregnant by these underage children. And even they aren't treated as horribly as a man who says no. If a man says, no, I'm not interested in you that way, we have taught women that no does not mean no to them. If you tell a woman no, what it means is destroy your life. If you tell a woman no, it is reinterpreted into, oh, this male wants me to destroy his life through slander and gang stalking. Not okay. Now, this lady who also needs my help, there's some phone calls that need to be made today. They need to be made rather quickly. I have 1 day to do this. So the emergency situation of me not having housing does need to be taken care of. For me to try to do this in a hotel room by myself, waiting on a call, I have to wait on this call. People don't understand it is important to make the appointments. You have to keep the appointments. Gives me a lot of anxiety when you don't, because I can't get anything done by myself. I will be called mentally ill, blown off, over and over, which is the situation here in Tillamook. Tillamook is not a safe place for me to be. That is because of the wrongdoing of people at the churches, people at the hospital, and of course, people with the police department and sheriff's department here. I have at least 4 other abuses against others, including 2 assaults by police officers here. One of them against a 14-year-old girl in the Safeway parking lot that is recorded. The police have intentionally created a safety issue here. I cannot safely go to the hospital because it is a small community. The moment I tell them that I was abused by officers, they will get hostile as they did last time. They were extremely hostile and physically assaulted me at the hospital here in Tillamook. Anyway, I'm going to get back in and I am going to try again to reestablish contact with this lady. You know, lots of people keep trying to shove pot down my throat. Pot will fix it. Pot will fix it. It doesn't. Lana and Amanda Engeline, anytime that I tried to speak, it was, you need to go smoke some pot. No. No, I don't. I need to be heard. Not talked over, not talked down to. Amanda Engeline did very well at listening to me. But in the end, she's ultimately always going to do what her mother wants her to do. No matter how harmful that is to other human beings, she is highly dependent upon her mother, and her mother is a control freak. Also, Amanda's an idiot. She knows she's an idiot. If her mother wasn't so intelligent, Amanda would be possibly still in prison for how much money she wrote in bad checks. Good to be with you. Thanks for coming to visit. Stay out of trouble or don't get caught. Remember, you are your brother's keeper, and no victim left behind. Not even if they're male. Not even if they're disabled. Not even if they're homeless.